Hello and welcome live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Gautam Roy, and coming up in the next hour, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is en route to UAE and Qatar on an official visit. He'll meet the two countries' top leaders, and the visit's aimed at deepening ties. The European Parliament's key committee is set to vote on the Union's AI Act before presenting it to the full Parliament. No end yet to the deadlock between Nawaz Sharif's PMLN and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's PPP in the tussle over the PM's post to form a coalition government in Pakistan. US President Joe Biden tells Jordan's king in a White House meeting that he's pushing for a 6-week pause in the Gaza conflict as a stepping stone to a longer ceasefire. First up, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has embarked on a two-nation visit to the UAE and Qatar. The first leg of the visit in the United Arab Emirates entails engagements with UAE's top leadership and community members, inauguration of the first Hindu temple, BAPS Mandir in Abu Dhabi, and participation as a guest of honor at World Government Summit in Dubai. Prime Minister Modi has shared his departure statement ahead of the visit to the UAE and Qatar. The Prime Minister Modi in a statement said that there are various programs in UAE and Qatar that he'll attend, which will deepen India's bilateral relations. The PM noted that this is his 7th visit to the UAE after assuming office, indicating the priority that India attaches to strong India-UAE friendship. The PM said, and I quote, "I look forward to meeting His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of UAE in Abu Dhabi." PM Modi will hold wide-ranging discussions on taking forward the comprehensive strategic dialogue, partnership that India has with the UAE. Also, during the visit, the PM will inaugurate the first Hindu Mandir in Abu Dhabi. Prime Minister will also address the Indian community at a community program in Abu Dhabi. He will also speak at the World Government Summit and meet Sheikh Mohammed in Dubai. In Qatar, the PM will meet Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Emir of Qatar. India and Qatar enjoy historically close and friendly relations. And ahead of his visit to the UAE, the PM praised the Indian diaspora for their efforts in deepening India's engagement with the world. Sharing a post on X, the PM said, and I quote, "We're very proud of our diaspora and their efforts to deepen India's engagement with the world. This evening, I look forward to being among UAE's Indian diaspora at the Ahlan Modi program. Do join this memorable occasion." Now, the magnificent BAPS temple, largest in Western Asia, is now ready. Built with key elements from India, the temple, which sits like a lotus amidst the sand dunes in the UAE, will soon be inaugurated by India's Prime Minister Modi. DD India's Meghna Dev speaks to Vishal Patel, volunteer at the BAPS Hindu temple, on the preparations.
We are inside the BAPS Hindu temple, the highly anticipated temple where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be coming, and we'll be inaugurating it on 14th of February on his visit to UAE. Vishal, can you talk to us and tell us more on what are the preparations going around, and what we see is such a majestic view of this temple?
The culmination of what we've seen, the support that we've been given for this temple to be constructed has been phenomenal. And now we've seen everyone really working hard to see the culmination where our Guru Mahant Sai Maharaj is going to be here, and we're going to be joined by the Indian Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. And you can see there's a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, and we're really proud to showcase the unity between the UAE and India. This is the first stone temple in the whole of the Middle East, and it's the largest temple in Western Asia. So to see such a magnificent temple, when you're really up close, it almost feels like you're actually in India. It's only when you go outside and you see the wider perimeter of the sand dunes and the palm trees, really hits home that you're actually in the middle of the UAE.
Many people have been telling us that the 7 spires are actually one of the special attractions, we can say, or one of the specialities of this temple. What do you have to say? Because we have been seeing that gods from different parts of India, their idols have been brought in here.
What makes it very unique is the way that it's been constructed. If you look at the 7 shikras that you have here, the 7 spires, they actually pay homage to the UAE. They represent each of the 7 emirates. And that's for us to say thank you to the UAE, which is our home for many, many years, for giving this land. Now, within this temple, what differentiates it from many other temples that you find around the world is the unity and the harmony that you will see. We've got murtis coming from the north, south, east and west. We have murtis coming from Tirupati. So Tirupati Balaji's murti is as authentic because it's been provided by the Tirupati Trust. Similarly, when you go to Puri, the Jagannath Ji murti is coming from Puri itself. So it's as authentic as you would find. So every Indian, every Hindu, and even, well-wishers who want to visit will have a taste of India when they come to this mandir.
Absolutely. So when we call it a spiritual sanctuary, it definitely stands ground on what it is being called. We obviously see this beautiful structure. When generally people visit Abu Dhabi, this structure transcends them from the general Abu Dhabi in terms of luxury hotels, racing car arenas and much more, to beautiful spiritual place and everything that depicts Indian craftsmanship, Indian culture, Indian tradition and more. With my colleague Ashwini Mishra and camera person Pramod Negi, this is Meghna Dev for DD India from Abu Dhabi.
Let's now talk about the significance of the Prime Minister's visit, 7th to the UAE this time around. He's right now en route to Abu Dhabi. We're joined by Chandramohan Bhandari, former Indian ambassador to the UAE. Good afternoon, Mr. Bhandari. What do you make of this fact that ever since Prime Minister Modi became the country's top leader, since 2015, in fact, this is the 7th time that he's traveling to the UAE, and we already have a comprehensive strategic partnership and even a SEPA.
Absolutely. I think since the present Prime Minister has taken the position, the relations with all the Gulf countries have really skyrocketed. I remember during my days from 2005 to 2007, I used to mix with the, with all the emirates of the UAE, all the sheikhs, and they all used to say that, look, we have such close relations with India for centuries. So we don't realize that for the entire Gulf region, India was really the shelter for education, for health, and for everything. And they cherished the relationships, and our large community, more than 3 million, Indian nationals are in UAE. And if we look at the entire Gulf area, I think the number is 8 to 10 million people. So the ties between India and the Gulf countries and UAE in particular, because UAE has been the most, I would say, moderate country right from since inception in 1969. And Dubai in particular had opened its economy, for the world. So therefore, the openness of UAE has been very, very, straight. And they were very keen to develop close ties with India because they are primarily trading centers, and India being a large economy, so they were very keen that India should have close ties, and our Prime Minister has established this chemistry, with all the Gulf leaders, the rulers, and that's where I think I'm very happy that now we even have a Hindu temple, we have a Sikh Gurdwara. So it says a lot about the people-to-people partnership as also at the government-to-government level.
Well, certainly. Let's talk about the kind of strategic partnership that India and the UAE have, because that is again coming into focus with the kind of challenges in the region that have cropped up in the recent months. Now, how can these be, taken further as well?
No, I think as far as UAE is concerned, they have a very, worldwide view. And therefore, they are not necessarily, limited with the Islamic part, so to say. So therefore, they find that India's, kind of approach to all countries in an open way. So that's where the meeting of minds between our Prime Minister and Sheikh Mohammed in particular, and then also Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the Prime Minister of UAE, the Sheikh of Dubai. Both these leaders are on the economic front, they are very, very dynamic, because they know that they need as much trading as possible, because they can't have much industry in their own countries. So therefore, this ties that we are building, and happily they have sufficient, financial resources to invest. So I think this is the best relationship that is coming up, and the challenges, will always be there. But with open-minded leaders who are not, going into narrow considerations, then it's very easy to carry on this healthy relationship.
Yes, you mentioned the trade relations and how the SEPA adds to that. What about investments? Because UAE is the 9th biggest investor in India, but the scope to invest even more, especially with the way that India is looking to expand its infrastructure in every manner, including the digital infrastructure, and also investments in environment and otherwise in science and tech, modern technologies and startups. Where do you see this going?
Yes, definitely, because this is what the UAE leaders also want, that, on the digital side, they can also have our investments. Indian companies are investing in the UAE because it's a hub, and it connects. Now we have this. It is during the G20 we had seen that from India to the Gulf and then to Europe. So there, the Gulf countries are playing a very, very important role. And this, our partnership with the Gulf countries in the last 10 years have really strengthened. And I'm happy to add here that, in the Qatar, where our 8 Navy officers, were sentenced to death and they haven't really been released. This is because of this very strong ties that we have, that our current government has built with the Gulf countries, that they are always sensitive to our interest. And we also need to be sensitive to their interest, because every country would like to have development in their own countries also. Therefore, I think they also are looking for investments from India. So it's a two-way process.
Certainly.
And very healthy relationship that can be developed.
All right. Now, there are 2 other significant events. One is the event with the Indian diaspora, Halt Modi, and the other is the World Government Summit, to which the Prime Minister is the keynote speaker. What do you make of these 2 events being organized during his trip as well?
Yes, both these events are really the first event about the inauguration of the temple. It's really a public event, and especially for the Indian diaspora, because I remember during my time also, we were discussing with the UAE government, and at that time, even Swaminarayan people were very keen. So now that we have this, temple, which is not just the Swaminarayan, but also other, faiths are there. So together, it brings a very positive energy. And this shows that now the Islamic countries are quite open. They are now global. They are not, kind of restricted by their own faith. So this is a very healthy process. So therefore, this event, and it's going to be now visible for the whole Islamic world, I would say. So therefore, it's a very positive, healthy development where the religious cultural harmony at global level can be seen. And on the Prime Minister's keynote address, that's again a major event. We had the G20 event, and thereafter Sheikh Mohammed came to Gujarat, just last month. So these events have a lot of multiplier effects. At least it shows in public domain that we have very healthy relations.
Yes, certainly. And we will see that being further established through the course of today and tomorrow in the UAE. Thank you so much for joining us and talking about it, Mr. Bhandari. Now, I'm also joined by my colleague from Abu Dhabi, Meghna Dev. Let's get an input from her live as well. Good afternoon, Meghna. Now, what's the PM's first day of the 7th visit to the UAE looking like? What really can we expect through the day?
So definitely I'm joined in by a number of people who are here for the Halt Modi event. I'm here at the Sheikh Zayed City Stadium in Abu Dhabi, and this stadium will be full to its capacity when Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be here to address the community. I'll take some quick reactions before I get to what more is in store for today when Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be here in UAE. What's the excitement like? We've been seeing a lot of preparations going on. Last minute prep is going on. And the stage is right behind us.
We are volunteering for this program, and we are excited. Indian community is excited for this program. Our Prime Minister is coming. It's such a wonderful, memorable event for us, and we are excited for this program. We are working for this in day and night. We are welcoming Modi ji. It's our pride. Vande Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Yeah. So we definitely see. Yesterday we saw there was there was quite a lot of rain. No dampening of spirits for the event?
Because it's Jai Shri Ram. Shri Ram ji aa rahe hai. Because Shri Ram means some God. God is because after a temple built in India, he came here. Shri Ram ji welcoming to Abu Dhabi. It is a very excitement moment for us. We are very lucky to visit. We are taking the place of here. We are very lucky to have the Narendra Modi as a
It's a great opportunity for us to welcome our great Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji. It's a very great opportunity for us. Thank you for the great event.
What do you have to say?
Our Prime Minister is our proud and pride. He is our positive energy of the country and future of the country. So we are very glad to part of this event, working for day and night to make glorious success, and we are going to make it. See, the climate also giving favorable today. Jai Swami Narayan, Jai Shri Ram.
So yes, so what do you have to say? We have people from different states in India who are here as a part of the diaspora and have come here for the Halt Modi event. What do you have to say, sir?
First of all, Jai Shri Ram. I've been here for last 30 years.
Yeah.
I think in 2015 also we welcomed our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. And that time also it was excellent, but it was the month of August, so very humid weather was there. But this time, Jaipur city, when we came here for the preparation, so I was we are afraid actually of the climate. See, when people are of good heart and good soul, even the climate and the God also help us to keep the climate pleasant. And we actually, I'm from Uttarakhand, Mumbai. So our whole team is working today along with
Sounds great, Meghna. So I'm sure everything is in place. Yes. Thank you for joining us. We're completely out of time, Meghna, running short of time. Thanks for joining us with these people from Abu Dhabi, and we look forward to the event as well. And still to come on Leading Day News are IMF chief's dire warning about the advent of artificial intelligence at the World Government Summit in Dubai. World Radio Day is being celebrated across the globe today. And there's some relief for former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra after spending 6 months in jail.
World that never stops, where information shapes our reality. one app stands out, helps you stay ahead of time. Introducing the DD India app, your gateway to a world of news right at your fingertips. Your most trusted source of news goes global, goes digital. Explore a world of options, top stories, live updates, in-depth analysis, and more. Stay informed wherever you are. Real-time alerts keep you ahead of the curve always. The DD India app, connecting you to the world one story at a time. Download now and explore the world of knowledge, insights, and authentic information.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Gautam Roy. Now, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be participating in the World Government Summit 2024 in Dubai. The PM will be the guest of honor and will deliver a special keynote address at the summit.
World Government Summit is some kind of a confluence of global leaders. I would say, in general, thought leaders.
Okay.
Whether it is political thought leaders or intellectual thought leaders, technical thought leaders, they all assemble here. The Prime Minister will be the guest of honor on the 14th of this month at the World Government Summit. The last time this honor was bestowed on him was in 2018.
Yes.
And perhaps he's the only world leader who has been guest of honor twice.
International Monetary Fund Chief Kristalina Georgieva has warned about the impact of artificial intelligence on global employment and said that the transition to AI will be like the Industrial Revolution, affecting about 40% of all jobs. The IMF chief was addressing the World Government Summit in Dubai. She also compared the potential impact of AI to a tsunami hitting the labor market, stressing its scale and significance.
The shift to artificial intelligence is going to be like the Industrial Revolution in terms of scale and significance of impact, affecting 40% of jobs. Either completely new jobs come, or jobs get enhanced, or jobs disappear. This is like a tsunami hitting the labor market.
Let me now take you across to Dubai live. Joining us is DD India's Vinod Kumar. Good afternoon, Vinod. We've seen key figures touching upon governance concerns like pandemics and AI at the World Government Summit so far. What more can you tell us about the latest updates coming in from the 11th World Government Summit in Dubai?
Hi, Gautam. This year's theme underlines the urgency of governments to adapt to a rapidly changing world. Discussions focused on emerging technologies like artificial intelligence. If you see all the roundtable conferences, the main plenary, what have happened in World Government Summit, the underlying theme was artificial intelligence, along with their potential impact on government and citizen-centric services. Additionally, hot button topics like climate change, economic disruptions, and social inequalities were also discussed. And this platform serves as a vital platform for fostering dialogue between government and the other stakeholders. And let me break you news that India has secured the prestigious award for the pioneering endeavors in AI-powered government services. We are set to receive the award in another 1 hour at this World Government Summit. And this accolade is given to the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways for the development of a project known as iRaste. This project involves reducing the accidents in our roads, especially in the cities. And the target is 50% of reduction of accidents. So this is the main update from for India. And as you know that we have prepared a national strategy of artificial intelligence prepared by the NITI Aayog to incorporate AI in various fields to benefit societal needs such as healthcare, education, agriculture, smart cities, satellite communication, among others. And a couple of things that worth noticing in this World Government Summit was the comment by, as you mentioned, Kristalina Georgieva, the managing director, the IMF, that the world is set to be affected by the artificial intelligence, especially the labor market. 40% of the labor market might get affected. And Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the DG of WHO, also has addressed the World Government Summit yesterday, and he revealed his concern that we are not yet prepared for another pandemic.
Yes.
That we need a international agreement on pandemic preparedness, emphasizing unity and cooperation among nations. So these are the latest updates from World Government Summit. India is a guest of honor, and tomorrow is India's day. Today is the day of Turkey. Tomorrow, the Prime Minister of India will address the World Government Summit. And we can expect that the strategy that made by Niti Aayog, PM will be delivering a keynote based on India's preparedness on artificial intelligence.
All right. And we know Dubai is a major global trading center as well. How is it looking upon the visit of Prime Minister Modi to the UAE this time round?
Yes, this is the 7th time our Prime Minister is visiting UAE and the 3rd time in the last 8 months. Prime Minister has visited last UAE in the month of December 2023 for COP28, where he presented India's plan of the climate change. And India and UAE has historically have a very good relationship. And the relationship has been cemented in the form of comprehensive economic partnership agreement and local currency settlement, which was inked last year. Yes, trade has, after the comprehensive economic partnership was cemented, the trade has enhanced to $85 billion. And speaking about the PM's arrival today in the UAE, we have an event called Ahlan Modi, which is set to happen local time 6:30 today. This is said to be the largest community event by India in the UAE.
Certainly.
And we are expecting close to 65,000 to 70,000 crowd among the 3.5 million Indians who are living in the UAE. And on top of that, tomorrow our Prime Minister will be inaugurating the BAPS Hindu Mandir, which is in Abu Dhabi. This is the largest stone temple, traditional Hindu stone temple anywhere in the Middle East. So yes,
yes, a packed schedule for Prime Minister Modi in the UAE.
Abu Dhabi and UAE things are.
Yes, thank you, Vinod, for joining us with that update. Now, the United States Senate voted to move forward on a $95.34 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel and Taiwan on Monday. The lawmakers exceeded a simple majority threshold of 66 to 33 votes to adopt the aid provisions. This sweeps aside the last procedural hurdle and limits debate on the measure to a final 30 hours before a vote on passage that could come on Wednesday. US President Joe Biden and Jordan's King Abdullah II held talks on how to end the months-long Israel-Hamas conflict, hostage deal, and the plan for what comes afterwards. Biden's meeting at the White House on Monday with King Abdullah has come as the US is working to broker another pause in Israel's conflict with Hamas in order to send humanitarian aid and supplies into the region and get the hostages out. Jordan's King Abdullah II appealed for a full ceasefire to end the conflict after talks with Joe Biden.
As the King and I discussed today, the United States is working on a hostage deal between Israel and Hamas, which would bring an immediate and sustained period of calm to Gaza for at least 6 weeks, which we could then take the time to build something more enduring. The U.S. military forces have struck targets in Iraq and Syria, and our response will continue. We're grateful to our partners and allies like the King, who work with us every single day to advance security and stability across the region and beyond.
Now, former U.S. President Donald Trump, who is seeking to regain presidency in this year's the 5th of November elections, has requested the U.S. Supreme Court to temporarily shelve a judicial order that refutes his claims of immunity from prosecution. Trump's lawyers in a brief stated that the criminal trial will affect his bid to participate in the presidential race. Donald Trump was charged for conspiring to defraud the United States and also for conspiring to obstruct the certification of the 2021 election results. He was also prosecuted for conspiring against the right of Americans to vote.
If I don't get immunity, then crooked Joe Biden doesn't get immunity, and all of the things he's done to allow the border invasion, millions and millions of people coming into our country, many from prisons, jails, mental institutions, insane asylums, many terrorists coming into our country. That's really allowing insurrection.
Today is World Radio Day, and on that occasion, India's President Draupadi Murmu shared her journey from Rairangpur, her birthplace in Odisha, to Rashtrapati Bhavan in an interaction with India's Union Minister of Women and Child Development, Smriti Irani. The special episode was recorded at Rashtrapati Bhavan and broadcast on the occasion of World Radio Day today. And India's Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Anurag Singh Thakur, delivered the keynote address at a regional community radio Sammelan in Anna University in Chennai. The minister emphasized on how the community radio has the power to reach the masses. Anurag Singh Thakur lauded Prime Minister Modi for reaching to the grassroots from his Indian radio program, Man Ki Baat. And still to come on DD India News Hour, the world's biggest single-day poll is set to unfold in Indonesia on Wednesday. The European Parliament's key committee is set to vote on the Artificial Intelligence Act. The law will regulate AI models like ChatGPT. And Pakistan's two largest parties wrangle over the PM's post while trying to form a coalition government in parliament dominated by independents backed by Imran Khan.
Voice of a rising aspirational world. Stories of challenges, struggles and accomplishment. A world battling conflict, hunger and poverty. Embracing growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I am Gautam Roy. Now, as members of the European Union plan to enact a regulation that makes the new technology safer and more competitive, European Parliament's key committee will vote today on the AI Act before presenting it to the full Parliament. It will likely enter into force before the summer and should apply in 2026, although parts of the legislation will kick in earlier. On the 2nd of February this year, Europe had moved a step closer to adopting rules governing the use of artificial intelligence and AI models such as Microsoft-backed ChatGPT. The rules proposed by the European Commission 3 years ago aim to set a global standard for a technology used in a vast swathe of industries, from banking and retail to cars and the airline sector as well. Let's now take you across to DD India's Ishan Garg, joining us live from Brussels for more on this. Ishan, first of all, could you tell us a little bit more about the key features of the EU AI Act, or bill as it should be so far?
Well, one of the key things that we're looking at with this act is its ability to regulate. Now, what it has done, it has categorized the AI industry into 4 key areas, depending on what kind of risk that particular AI model what risk can it pose to the society. So on the very top end, you've got technologies like artificial intelligence powered facial recognition or other biometric sensing technologies, which have been almost completely outlawed. And on the lower end, you've got regulation for models like ChatGPT, which is a generative AI model. And for that, the companies will have to go into a lot of stress testing and have to be incredibly transparent with the data that they're going to record. And all of that is going to be presented to a central body that will be under the European Commission that's going to look over how this regulation is being implemented. Now, one of the big things that the European Union is doing to make sure that different companies comply with it is imposing strict fines on companies which may not comply with the norms, and the fines can range up to 30 million euros, or nearly 6% of the total income of the companies that fall under this regulation. The scope of this regulation is going to be very wide. It's going to be very much like the GDPR norms that kicked in a few years ago. So any company that touches the European Union's boundaries or wants to operate here, or wants to work with the users in the European Union, all of them are going to be covered by this legislation. So it's an incredibly wide regulation. It's also one of the first most comprehensive laws that is seeking to regulate this very nascent industry of artificial intelligence.
All right. Now, the EU may be moving closer to regulating AI, but doesn't it require a consensual global effort and agreement to be truly effective?
Absolutely. To be effective, the European Union will have to collaborate with partners across the globe. On one side of the pond, it will have to work with the United States, which is the home to many of the technology companies that are at the forefront of artificial intelligence, while it will also have to work closely with the Asian partners, especially countries like India, which has one of the biggest consumer markets anywhere in the world, and also with the ASEAN nations, which are at the same time coming up with guidelines of their own to work with artificial intelligence. Now, we would know that this was the topic of conversation when the Trade and Technology Council met here in Brussels with our Foreign Minister, India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar, and Mr. Piyush Goyal, the Commerce Minister. They discussed this with the European Union, how these two massive markets, the European Union and India, can work together to make sure that AI can be implemented evenly across the globe. India already has its own strategy in place, and it's working on its own legislation. At the same time, analysts have said that EU will have to work more with a lot of these partners to make sure that the regulation on AI remains more consistent throughout the globe.
Yes, certainly, and with the kind of warnings that are being issued by the likes of Kristalina Georgieva about how it will impact the labour market, I'm sure there's a sense of urgency to it, but at the same time, you need to get a measure in place that allows innovation to flourish, at the same time doesn't let it go completely out of hand. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment, Ishad. Now, as Indonesia is scheduled to go into polls on Wednesday, final preparations are underway ahead of the presidential elections. More in this report. Now, in Pakistan, uncertainty prevails over the formation of government after Thursday's fractured verdict in the National Assembly polls. The Election Commission of Pakistan has denounced any claims of manipulation in the vote count. Pakistan's EC did accept that there were few irregularities. Caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haq has asserted that Pakistan would not investigate allegations because some foreign capitals had sought a probe and had its own laws to deal with any challenges.
Framed their initial assessment on the social media and digital space fractured information, fabricated information, and responsible government should wait and filter, take their time, and then have a position that would have been better. Having said this, if we have to investigate, if we have to inquire, we will not do on the demand of either United States or United Kingdom or EU. We have got our own procedures. We are a sovereign country. We have got our own laws.
Well, that's the reaction to the kind of outcry that was heard in Pakistan over alleged rigging of elections before the results came out. Well, joining us now is my colleague Amritpal Singh from our newsroom to talk about this further. Amrit, what can you tell us about, first of all, what's happening with government formation, because the PMLN and the PPP entered into coalition talks on Sunday, and now it's Tuesday.
That's right. They entered into coalition talks. They've had various rounds of meeting. They're having internal party discussions also, but it's basically wrangling for political posts that's going on. There is both sides want the Prime Minister's position. Then they are amenable to candidates who will be their party's candidates for the Prime Minister's position. And then they are wrangling for other positions like who should be the next president There are ambitions of Asif Ali Zardari to again become president. There is a question of the speaker's post, the deputy speaker's post, ministries. So all that political wrangling is going on. Also within the PPP, there are differences on whether they should join the government or sit in opposition. Some believe they should sit in opposition and not form a government with the PMLN. The others believe that they should enter into an alliance both at the central level, federal level, and also in Punjab, where they should become a part of the provincial government, wrangle few more seats there, and increase their party's base in Punjab. Because, provincial elections were also held, and governments have to be formed in these 4 provinces. So, all that is going on. Then there are talks going on with the MQM, which won 17 seats because only Nawaz's party and the PPP cannot alone form the government. Their numbers are not enough to stake claim. They don't get past the halfway mark out of the seats that went to polls. So they would need support of independents or support of another party. So there are talks with the with MQM, which has won 17 seats from Sindh. So all this is playing out, and I believe because very hard negotiations are going on, it may be a couple of days before there is any clarity on who would be forming the next government and what would be the contours of that government. Would it be PPP-led or would it be Nawaz PML-led?
And in all this, what becomes of the claim that Imran Khan made in his AI avatar that he's actually the party which has got the maximum number of seats because of the kind of independence he supported and the numbers that they got and the final outcome of the elections? And what are these independents backed by Imran Khan doing now? Just watching what's going on, or are they coming up with their own strategy?
Imran is, right when he says that, the PTI-backed candidates are the largest group which has won in these elections. That is true. They have more numbers than the others. But because they are not a party, because they did not contest as a party, because the Election Commission of Pakistan denied them the symbol, so they are basically PTI-backed independents.
But can't they join PTI post facto or form another party?
They can, there are views on that. They first on whether they can join the PTI. Some lawyers of the Pakistan Supreme Court say the PTI can petition the Election Commission and they can join PTI, but that would not affect the government formation because PTI did not participate or could not participate in these elections. So they will remain as independents. They can be largely seen as a large group of independents, but PTI, because wasn't in the fray, so in these elections, so therefore it will not affect government formation, as in they cannot stake a claim as PTI to form the government. The other options available to them are to join another party, because the constitution allows the independents to join another party. There are smaller parties. They've already made it clear. Barrister Gohar Khan has made it clear that they will have no truck either with the PPP or with PML Nawaz.
Well, why can't they form their own party, a new party altogether?
Because that particular party did not participate wasn't on the ballot.
Okay.
So that party would not have recognition in the present parliament. They can form it outside, but that will not be a party registered with the ECP for these elections. So therefore, in this parliament, they can technically form a party. They can register a party, a new party, or even PTI can register with the ECP again. But it will, for practical purposes, for this parliament's tenure, they will not be treated as a party because that party was not in the fray.
All right.
So now the option is there are 13 parties who have won, apart from these 4 main parties. Some of them, 6 or 7 of them have won on, they're technically parties, they won single candidates. So they can technically join a party with, say, a single candidate and then probably give that single candidate some position and then be under that party. But would they want to fritter their brand away? Would they come under the new party's discipline? Would that be, would it again depend upon the whims and fancies, because that person may want to keep the party's presidentship. So all those questions are there,
Right.
which they are grappling with. But right now, publicly at least, what they're doing is they are protesting. They're calling it a vote rig, and they're saying that, look, we are the real inheritors of the people's mandate, and this is being robbed from us. So that's what they're doing publicly. Behind the scenes, of course, they are exploring all these options if they can come stake a claim to form a government.
Okay, for Pakistan's sake, I guess whatever is to happen should happen soon. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment, Amritpal Singh. Now, from waste to green, new technologies are making waves across the globe. Meet Strotham Solutions and engineers pioneering India's manufacturing consulting. Since 2013, they've guided SMEs, offering solutions and project execution. Renowned for robust process plants, they cater to ethanol, bio-CNG, oil and gas industries. DD India's Sabat Bhattacharya reports.
From waste to green energy, this concept is getting popularity in India Energy Week. In fact, most of the companies are going to adopt this kind of technology. And one of the pioneers of this is Jetty Green. And I have with me Mr. Anil Singh, who is the director of that. Sir, you guys are working with PSUs, with other companies to turn their waste into green energy, making India or getting India in line for the 2070 net neutrality. How is that happening? Can you tell us?
We are the pioneer in this industry. We are making waste to energy, just like agricultural waste, MSW, city waste, and we are having a technological tie-up with PSUs in India, like BPCL, IOCL, GAIL India, Indraprastha Limited, and we are providing technological research, our own research developed by us, and we are providing technology to our partners here in India.
This is the plug flow reactor. This is the demo that you have given, right? Exactly how does it work?
Sir, exactly, it's very efficient. Like its own energy requirement is very less, and the yield of CBG gas is very high, and it takes only 7 days to digest that digested and feedstock, in comparison to the conventional digester that takes 31 days to 45 days. That's why it's very high in yield.
And also, you guys are working in green hydrogen aspect.
Right. We convert methane into hydrogen, and for that it emits zero emissions, no liquid discharge and no emission in environment. It's good for our humanity and good for our planet.
Most of the companies, PSU companies, or for that matter any other companies who have provide any sort of waste material, it can be toxic waste material, it can be any kind of waste material. What these companies do is turn that into a green energy and making India self-sustaining, making sure that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of India becoming net neutral by 2070 is fulfilled in that timeline. With camera person Ajit, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for DD India from Goa.
And still to come on DD India News are, cryptocurrency Bitcoin surges to a more than 2-year high at $50,383, staying above the 50K level for a second day running. High hopes from the Indian shuttlers in the 4th Asian Team Championships getting underway in Malaysia starting today. And New Zealand emerged on top thanks to Rachin Ravindra on day 1 of the second test match against South Africa at Seddon Park.
That never stops, where information shapes our reality. One app stands out, helps you stay ahead of time. Introducing the DD India app, your gateway to a world of news right at your fingertips. Your most trusted source of news goes global, goes digital. Explore a world of options, top stories, live updates, in-depth analysis, and more. Stay informed wherever you are. Real-time alerts keep you ahead of the curve always. The DD India app, connecting you to the world one story at a time. Download now and explore the world of knowledge, insights, and authentic information.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Gautam Roy. And a big relief to the common man, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday launched PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, under which 10 million households will be provided 300 units of free electricity every month. The Prime Minister wrote on social media platform X, and I quote, "In order to further sustainable development and people's well-being, we are launching the PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. This project, with an investment of over 75,000 crore rupees, aims to light up 10 million households by providing up to 300 units of free electricity every month." Dubai is said to have the world's first air taxi, as agreements have been inked at the World Government Summit 2024, which is taking place in the UAE in Dubai. In fact, currently, the development is set to revolutionize urban transportation. The agreements pave the way for the induction of Joby Aviation S4, an aircraft designed to comfortably accommodate 4 passengers along with a pilot. This aerial vehicle will help Dubai to pioneer the deployment of citywide electric aerial taxi service and vertiport network. Leveraging cutting-edge technology, these aerial vehicles aim to seamlessly integrate into Dubai's urban landscape that will offer swift and eco-friendly transportation solutions. The air taxi network will commence its operations from 2026, marking a significant milestone in Dubai's quest to redefine urban mobility.
Is an electric air taxi. It carries 4 people and a pilot on journeys of up to 160 kilometers, and it takes off and lands vertically like a helicopter, flies forward like a plane. We plan to launch service here in Dubai at the World Government Summit, where we're unveiling this for the first time. We were actually in India this past weekend at the Global Business Summit, where we talked about the opportunity for this technology in the Indian market, transforming the way that people might travel in congested cities and regions.
The European Union adopted a law to set aside windfall profits made on frozen Russian central bank assets. The money is being used to finance the reconstruction of Ukraine. The EU and the group of 7 nations froze over $323 billion of Russian central bank assets. The EU and the G7 have been debating if and how these funds can be used for over a year. 2/3 of these funds are in the EU, with the majority of that being held by Belgium's clearinghouse Euroclear. The law passed on Monday prohibits central securities depositories from using net profits and to keep revenues from the Russian assets separate. Bitcoin has surged to a more than 2-year high at $50,383 and steadied above 50,000 for a second day running. The world's largest cryptocurrency has risen nearly 18% this year, helped by last month's regulatory nod for US-listed exchange-traded funds designed to track its price. Ahead of Tuesday's data, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York said that the projected rise in inflation 3 years from now dropped to 2.4%. Analysts said the latest boost to Bitcoin comes ahead of its halving event, which will cut the reward for successfully mining a Bitcoin block in half. And it's time now to get you all the sporting updates with my colleague Deepika.
Thanks and good afternoon, Gautam. Let's quickly take our viewers through all that is currently buzzing in the world of sports. Well, senior Indian batsman KL Rahul has been ruled out of the 3rd test against England after failing to fully recover from his injury. KL Rahul was added to the Indian team for the remaining 3 tests of the 5-match series against the 3 Lions, with subject to fitness. However, Rahul was ruled out of the 2nd game after complaining of right quadriceps pain during the 1st test match in Hyderabad. The 3rd test is scheduled to be in Rajkot on Thursday, where Rahul will be replaced with Devdutt Padikkal, the talented Karnataka left-hander who's enjoying a great first-class season. Staying on cricket, all-rounder Rachin Ravindra continued to bolster his reputation with 3 for 33 as New Zealand reduced a weakened but battling South Africa side to 220 for 6 on the first day of the 2nd test at Sedon Park on Tuesday. The Proteas won the toss and elected to bat on a bright, sunny day in Hamilton, but scored slowly and struggled to turn starts into substantial tallies until the final session of the day. Ruan, who was 55 not out, and Sean, unbeaten on 34, will resume on day 2, having added 70 for the 7th wicket as the visitors look to avoid becoming the first South Africa team to lose a test series to New Zealand. Now, the International Cricket Council on Monday named the team of the tournament for the recently concluded Under-19 World Cup 2024, with India and Australia dominating the 11-member list. Mushir Khan, Sachin Das, Uday Saharan and Soumi Pandey are the 4 Indians among the team of the tournament, despite their defeat against Australia in the summit clash on Sunday. Now, leading run scorer and Indian captain Uday Saharan finished the tournament as a leading run scorer after he racked up 397 runs from 7 matches with 100 and 350s to his name. Pandey had an excellent outing with the ball as he finished as the second highest wicket taker of the tournament as well. Moving on to badminton, the 4th edition of the Badminton Asia Team Championships 2024 has commenced in Shah Alam, Malaysia. 2 times Olympic medalist PV Sindhu and world number 8 HS Pranoy will spearhead a strong Indian squad at the Asia Team Championship. They will play the match tomorrow. The Indian side will also include Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy, Chirag Shetty and Lakshay Sen, along with PV Sindhu leading the Indian women's team at this year's Badminton Asia Team Championship. The championship will offer qualifications for 2024 Thomas and Uber Cup, men's and women team championship scheduled to be played in Chengdu, China. Now, this year's Badminton Asia Team Championship will conclude on the 19th of February. On to soccer, Juventus' title hopes suffered a blow in a 1-0 home defeat by lowly Udinese in Serie A after defender Lautaro Giannetti scored in the first half to leave Juventus without a victory in 3 games. The visitors took the lead against the run of play in the 25th minute when Giannetti capitalized on a defensive error to net on the half volley from close range after a free kick. Juventus had won their previous 4 league matches against Udinese without conceding a goal. The Ivory Coast national soccer team arrived at the Felix Stadium on Monday, where they were greeted by throngs of enthusiastic supporters celebrating their 2-1 victory over Nigeria in the AFCON finale. The African champions arrived in the stadium, soaking in the excitement of the nation's 3rd continental title. Supporters continued to cheer and chant, expressing their joy and pride in their team's achievement, becoming the first team to lift the AFCON trophy on home soil since Egypt in 2006. So that was a quick wrap from the world of sports. Back to you, Gautam.
Thank you, Deepika. And that's all we have for the moment in this edition of DD India Newswire as well. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X, as well as Instagram. We'll be back with more news and updates as they break here on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Newswire.